Good morning, afternoon, or evening, y'all. My name is Shannon, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a 200 pages a day reading challenge. I've done this before on my channel, and that was back in October, and that really helped me get out of a mild reading slump that I was going through. But now I have been in a horrible reading slump for the past 2.5 months now, and I am so desperate to get out of it. I think I read 2 books in December, and I read 4 books in November, which is so low for me. I just really hope this can get me out of another reading slump, because it's making me so depressed not reading, because I love these stories and I love immersing myself in them, and I feel like I've been suffering because I haven't been reading. But I have definitely already read 200 pages today. I started Falling for Temptation. I don't know who the author is. It's by MJ Hendricks, and I'm loving it so far. I'm 78% of the way through, and I'm probably gonna finish it tonight. I literally started it this morning while my husband was sleeping, and I'm literally loving it so much. But I will keep you guys posted as to my reading. Hey y'all, it is a little while later. I did end up finishing the book. It was so good. I always love those romance books where the guy is just so soft and respectful and quiet, like Archer from Archer's Voice, and Asriel, and Russ from Wildfire. I just love those characters, and so this was the exact same thing. I think I might read the next book in the series next. It's called Seeing Double, because we got so many hints at it in this book, and I really want to see where Kenna's romance goes. So I will probably start that tomorrow, or I may start it tonight after I make dinner. But I already did decide that if I read extra one day, I'm not going to count it towards the next, because I tend to have a really bad habit of binging books and then not reading for days. So the only time I will count pages towards another day is if I don't read enough one day and I have to make up for it, you know? That book was really good. I think I'm gonna rate it 4 stars? 3.5. I don't know. I have to let it marinate a little longer. But I will let you know if I end up reading any more today. Hey, we just got done dinner, and I still really want to read right now, which I'm going to take as an incredibly positive sign that I am starting to work my way out of this reading slump. But I am going to start Seeing Double, I think that's what it's called, and take off my makeup and just sit in bed and read. I will probably, at least with how I'm feeling right now, I will probably be reading well into the night, but I don't really like turning on the camera when I'm in bed, no makeup, and just trying to relax. So I will update you guys tomorrow with how far I got in it. Good morning, y'all. It is the next day. It's actually just after 1, but I edited a video and got ready, and then I actually just cleaned the carpet in my library because my dog peed on it, but just cleaned that, and I'm probably gonna start reading here in a bit. I think I got to 40% of the way through Seeing Double last night, and I'm loving it. It's kind of frustrating though, because obviously I'm only 40% of the way through, but there was such a huge miscommunication thing going on that it pissed me off so much, and now, oh my gosh, it's just kind of bothering me. But I do still really like the characters, and I'm gonna start reading here in a sec. Hey y'all, it is 5 o'clock now. I just finished seeing Double. I did really enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I think I would rate it about 3 stars just because the MMC kind of just pissed me off sometimes because he was so oblivious, like so oblivious, and there was so much miscommunication. But I did enjoy it still. I am trying to upload a video right now, the video I edited this morning, and it keeps saying that it can't process it. I've tried to upload it 5 different times now, and if it doesn't go through this current time, I think I might just have to refilm the video, which is gonna suck. Because that was like 45 minutes of raw footage, and I got it down to 28, but I really don't want to have to refilm this entire long sitting down talking video. But I'm gonna work on picking out my next read because I still have like 30 pages left to read today, and I will update you guys when I pick one out. Hey y'all, it is much later. It is just about 9:30, and I did finish my reading for today. I decided to just continue with the Good Old Boys series, and it's called Seducing the Saint. I'm so far enjoying it. It is a second chance kind of enemies to lovers, but from the way that they both describe it in their points of view, it seems like it's gonna be just like a miscommunication that made them break up like years ago. But I don't know that I will continue reading tonight. I'm glad I finished the 200 pages. I definitely don't feel like I'm in a reading slump right now, which is wonderful. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow before I start reading. Good morning, y'all. It is the next day. It's a little bit before 10, and I just finished getting ready. When I woke up this morning, I laid in bed and I read for a little bit. I think I got about 60 more pages into Seducing the Saint, and my library is kind of a bit of a mess right now, so I think I'm gonna focus on that for right now and updating my reading journal because I haven't been updating it with the books I've read the past 2 days just because I've been focusing on reading and doing other stuff around my house. But I do have the time right now because my husband's still asleep, so I think I'm gonna do that, and then I will continue reading. Also, Seducing the Saint, I'm getting a pretty big impression that the conflict that happened that made them break up or stop talking in the first place, because this is a second chance, is gonna be so stupid and could have just been resolved by them having an honest discussion, which is kind of gonna piss me off if I find out that that's the case, because it's just so aggravating. Like, literally just talk to one another. I'm gonna clean up this room a little bit and I will talk to you guys in a bit. Hey y'all, it's been a little bit since we last spoke. It's just after 2, it looks like, and have officially reached 110 pages for the day so far. I'm definitely gonna keep reading, and we're getting a little bit more into the conflict that made them stop talking years ago, and it's looking like it's gonna be a miscommunication, but it also is something that, from the way it's evolving, it sounds like it's like a valid miscommunication, which I get doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I would probably do the same exact thing if I was in Scarlett's position, if it's what I think it is. But I'm going to keep reading and I will update you guys. Literally been like 5 minutes, but I was right, and the conflict that arose years ago was exactly what I thought it would be, and it makes perfect sense. Like, I completely understand now. I'm not mad anymore. This is a miscommunication that makes perfect sense, in my opinion. I'm gonna keep reading. Hey y'all, it's been roughly an hour since we last spoke, and I finished my 200 pages. I'm exactly at page 272. I will probably be finishing this book today. I don't know why I'm just like binging this series. I will probably, given how early it is in the day, I will probably start the last book in the series today as well. I don't know what that one's called, but so far I am enjoying it, and most of the conflict has already happened. I do really like that about this author. She puts the conflict in pretty early on in the book, like maybe 75-80% of the way through. And some I feel, or at least most of the romance books I read, I feel like the conflict is like 90% in and it gets solved like on the last page, which I legitimately hate. But I am really enjoying the way that MJ Hendricks approaches conflicts in books. But I'm gonna keep reading and I'll keep you guys posted. So I just finished the book. I really enjoyed it. I think I definitely enjoyed it more than Seeing Double, which was the book I read yesterday. But I definitely still like Falling for Temptation, the first book in the series, the most. But I think I'm definitely gonna start reading the last book in the series. It's called Kissing Friends, and it's a reverse Grumpy Sunshine. So I think that'll be really, really good. I'm also just really excited to see how this specific character's romance plays out. Especially because the whole thing about this series is that these 4 boys who were best friends growing up, basically brothers, were basically raised in like a very sheltered world. And so it revolved around religion, and they were taught like so many, I don't know how to adequately explain it, but they're like the most innocent guys ever, and they're all super built, and they all ask their parents to go to college, which is basically like horrifying to their parents, and they all end up agreeing. But it's just so good because you don't really ever see the whole innocent guy thing. Like, the way that they described being raised and the way that their parents thought and all that kind of stuff, it literally reminds me of an Amish community. Like, they didn't have cell phones, they just worked in the fields. But I am really enjoying the series, and odds are we'll end up finishing it by tomorrow. But I'm really enjoying it, if you couldn't tell. And I definitely don't feel like I'm in a book slump anymore, which I am loving, and this video has definitely helped that. But I'm going to start reading this next book in the series, and I will keep you guys posted. It is significantly later in the day. It is just about 8:45. I so far have gotten to about 56% of the way through the book. I probably will end up finishing it tonight because I really am enjoying it. I'm gonna get back into reading. I probably will end up finishing it tonight. I don't know that I will end up talking to you guys again tonight to update you on my reading, because I'm probably just gonna be laying in bed reading for the rest of the night. But I might. I have no idea. If I don't, I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Hey y'all. I just finished the book. I had to do a couple things in between when I last spoke to you guys and reading, but it's just after 11 o'clock. I really enjoyed it. I don't know. I did really enjoy this one, and I think if I had to rank them, it would be the first one, then this one, then the third one, and then the second one. But I did still really enjoy the whole series. And as for page count, I think I read like almost 600 pages today. Take it with a grain of salt, because they're pages on Kindle books. And I know that the whole translation of pages on Kindle to a tangible book can be different. So 4 books in 3 days, I'm like super impressed with that. I have no idea what I'm gonna read tomorrow because I am in the mood for this kind of romance book, but I don't know. I also really like reading on my Kindle right now. I will probably take some time to think about it the rest of this evening and tomorrow morning, and I'll probably look for books on Kindle Unlimited that I could read, because I've also been wanting to get back into the Brutal Birthright series, which is a mafia romance series by Sophie Lark, especially since the FMC in the last book of this series kept talking about how she was reading mafia romance books, and it made me want to read a mafia romance book. But I don't know, and I will speak with you guys tomorrow. Good afternoon, y'all. It is the next day. It's just about 12:30, and I just finished getting ready, but I have already finished my 200 pages for today. I woke up and I was just laying in bed because my husband was still asleep, and I decided to pick up where I last left off with Savage Lover, which is the 3rd book in the Brutal Birthright series. I think I got like, I think it was 40% of the way through when I went back to it this morning, and I was reading it on my Kindle, but I ended up finishing it this morning and it was really good. I think I would rate it like 3 stars. I already rated it 4 stars on Goodreads. I'm probably gonna go change that just because the ending did not feel fully closed. Like, I think I was like 90% of the way through the book and I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop, but it never came, and I don't really love that. But I did enjoy the romance and everything going on within it, and I have really enjoyed this whole series. I don't know if I'm gonna start reading Bloody Heart, which is the next book in this series. I don't know. I'm struggling on what to pick up next, especially since I'm already done my pages today, so I don't have to read anymore if I don't want to. But I do want to. I just don't know what to pick up. I will talk to you guys when I figure out what book I want to read next. Hey y'all, it's literally been like 20 minutes since we last spoke, but I decided that I don't know if I'm going to read any more today just because I have so many books that I want to transfer my Kindle annotations over to the physical books. The main one being one that I've been trying to do for months, and it is Binding 13. I also really want to put my annotations from Keeping 13 into that book as well. I know that as I'm redoing the annotations, I'm going to be reading it as well, so it's kind of be like reading, but not fully. And this takes me so long to do. Like 100 pages is roughly an hour of my time. Putting all the annotations in, highlighting, underlining, drawing, all that stuff. It takes so much time, and I really want to do it, especially for these books, because I legitimately adore these books. So once I am done with stuff I need to do around the house, I'm definitely going to start working on that, and I will probably get bored and end up reading at some point today, at which case I will let you know. Hey y'all, it is just around 8 o'clock. We ate dinner and I worked on annotating Binding 13, and I successfully finished. I took so many breaks basically to just reread some of my favorite scenes. Given how I practically just reread Binding 13, I'm definitely gonna jump right in to annotating Keeping 13. These are literally some of my favorite books of all time. Like, if this is not your first time on my channel, you probably already know that my favorite book ever is Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. But Binding and Keeping 13 are literally right below it. Going to get to work on annotating this, and I will probably cry a lot in the process, but it's so good. And I will check in with you guys to see how far I get before I go to bed. Hey y'all, it's almost midnight. I've been working on these Keeping 13 annotations for just about this entire time. I only got 315 pages into it because, as I predicted, I started reading. I've probably read another 200 pages from all of the re-annotating and all that stuff that I've done today. The day is almost over. I'm going to just take off my makeup and go to bed because I've had my face in a book all day long, whether it's on my Kindle or doing these annotations. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow. It is the next day. It is actually almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I definitely woke up a lot later than I was planning on, but I have read, I think, about like 150 pages so far today, because apparently this week I'm just catching up on all of the books that I'm halfway through. So I'm currently about 87% of the way through Sable Peak, which is the last book in the Edens series. I'm really enjoying it. I was really worried that it was just gonna ignore one of the characters' trauma, especially after the introduction we got to her in the last book, but it didn't do that, so I'm really happy about that. And I only have like 40-ish more pages to go before I'm done, but that won't reach my 200 page limit for today though, so I don't quite know when I'm going to start next, but I will make sure to keep you guys updated. I also don't know if I'm going to be able to do a lot of putting my annotations in Keeping 13 today, because I actually have stuff I have to do and go places, and obviously that doesn't leave a lot of time for actual reading or doing much. But I think I might start listening to an audiobook, because I have never listened to an audiobook because frankly I don't have the patience, and I zone out a lot when I'm listening to stuff, and I'll just have it as background music, so I'm worried that that's what's going to happen and I won't end up actually hearing any of what is playing, if you understand what I mean. But I think I'm gonna get back to reading Sable Peak for right now, and I will let you guys know what I think when I'm done. Hey y'all, it's been like 40 minutes, not even, since we last spoke. I finished Sable Peak. I did really enjoy it. I would probably only rate it like 3.5 stars, but I did still really enjoy it. I think I have like 35-ish more pages to read today before I'm done with the 200 pages. I don't really know what I'm in the mood for. I honestly might work on finishing My Life with the Walter Boys, because like I said, I think earlier in this video, I started that book when I was in a waiting room, and I couldn't keep interest in it. I don't know. I've been having this conundrum so much, and this is why I get put into a reading slump. It's because I can't pick out what to read next, and then I just never decide and I don't read at all. I'm gonna look through my shelves and I'll find something to read, and then I will let you guys know what I pick. I think I'm going to try to start reading If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, because I have heard so many astronomically amazing things about this book. And I'm really hesitant to read most thrillers just because, typically speaking, the ones that I have read, which is very, very few, have a very slow start. And I get bored and I end up putting it down because I'm not interested. I just don't really care because they have done nothing to get me entertained or keep me wanting more. I'm going to try to read it. I will read the 35 pages. I may read more, but I will finish the 200 pages for today. I am going to get my annotating supplies together and I'm gonna try reading it. Hey y'all, it's later in the day. It's a little before 7 and I did finish my 35 pages of If We Were Villains. I do think I'm going to continue with it, but it's definitely not going to be a book that I binge. I'm only 35 pages of the way in, so I don't even really have a good representation of the book. But thrillers have never been my favorite genre, so I'm not too surprised about this. But when I was doing the things I needed to do today, I listened to the first couple chapters of the audiobook for the Romance Book Club. I am enjoying the actual book, so I think I may pick that up in the physical form, but I'm definitely going to spend, I think, the rest of my evening trying to finish putting my annotations in Keeping 13, which I imagine will take a really long time, but I will check in with you guys before I go to bed to let you guys know how far I got into that, if I finished, and what have you. But I will talk to you guys in a couple hours. Hey y'all, it's 10:35-ish. I just finished adding all my annotations from Keeping 13 into the book. I'm so relieved to have all of that done, at least for those 2 books. I still have to add annotations for like 5 more books into the physical copies from my Kindle, but that's for another time. I have a good amount of stuff I have to do tomorrow, so I don't know that I'll be able to work on re-annotating if I feel like doing it at all, but I'm still definitely going to try to whip out the 200 pages, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Good morning, y'all. It is the next day. It is just about 10:15-ish, and I haven't done a whole lot of reading today, at least yet, but I decided that I'm going to pick up where I left off in My Life with the Walter Boys. I started reading it again today and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know how many pages I've gotten through so far just because I have a really busy day today, so I've been flitting back and forth between the audiobook on Spotify and reading it on my Kindle, despite the fact that I have the physical copy. But I am really enjoying it, and I will let you guys know when I have an update or if I finish my 200 pages. Hey y'all, it is a little after 2:30 now. I'm like 30 pages away from reaching 200 pages, and that's including the audiobook, which I'm gonna count because it counts, like it just does. I was able to listen to an audiobook while I did all of my driving, all of my grocery shopping and putting it away and everything and cleaning the kitchen, which was wonderful because it's really nice to be able to enjoy a book while being able to do my, the stuff I need to do around the house, because that is usually what holds me back from doing stuff around the house sometimes, because I want to keep reading, and in this instance I get to. But I'm going to get back to reading on my actual Kindle now that I've done the stuff I need to, and I will update you either when I finish the book or my 200 pages. Hey y'all, it's literally been less than an hour since we last spoke. I did just finish My Life with the Walter Boys. I know that this isn't a series, and quite frankly, the ending was so phenomenally unfinished. I am legitimately so pissed off that we got that ending for the end of this book. Like, there's nothing more to come. We didn't get an epilogue, and how do I move on? Like, finish your story. It honestly really pisses me off, but I did enjoy it, and I finished my 200 pages. I don't really know what I'm going to read next. I will pore over my shelves for a little bit and see if anything catches my eye, and I will let you guys know when I pick out my next read. So I was looking through my shelves, and I think I'm going to start from the beginning of the Lancaster Prep series, because I read A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, and I didn't know it was part of a series then, but I do now. And this is the first book in the series. It's Things I Wanted to Say, and it seems like it's gonna be like a rivals kind of enemies to lovers thing, and I think it sounds really interesting, and I love the whole prep school setting for romance novels. So I'm gonna get started on this, and I think I will read it on my Kindle because I just haven't really been into reading physical books right now, especially because it takes so much longer to read a book when you are physically annotating it. In Kindle, I can just highlight it. But I'm going to get started on that, and I will let you guys know my thoughts. It is almost 8 o'clock. I am 164 pages into this 500-page book, and I'm really struggling because I legitimately am hating the MMC at this point in time. Like, he's a bully. He's legitimately mean and degrades her, and I really am not enjoying it. But she, like, gets off on it, which I don't love either. Like, it is very lust-filled in terms of their attraction, and I'm not really enjoying that. Like, I much prefer the whole, oh my god, he touched my hand, and oh my god, like, doing all the, like, love-based actions, not this. My hair looks so crazy, but I'm probably gonna end up finishing this book. Not tonight, but in general. And depending on how I feel about it at the end of the book, I may or may not continue the series, which kind of sucks because I bought all the books in the series. I'm gonna keep reading. Hopefully it gets better, and I'll keep you guys updated. Sorry, it's literally been a second since we last spoke, but something just happened that literally infuriated me. So he doesn't like to show witness, this MMC, and he feels that he exposed a witness to Summer, and so now he stole her journal with all of her private information, and she has a lot of secrets, some that really shouldn't come to light, and he's basically blackmailing her into having like an enemies with benefits arrangement. And he like came into the library where she is, and he like indicated for her to come with him, and she mouthed no, and he literally walked up to her and is like, you don't have a choice, and it's like really rubbing me the wrong way. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Hey y'all, it is almost 11:30 at night. I am about like 65% of the way through Things I Wanted to Say, and I can say with a pretty good level of certainty that I'm going to finish this book tonight, going into tomorrow, and whatever I read past midnight, I will count for my 200 pages. Because it is a different day, and you can't convince me otherwise. I did have a lot of problems with the beginning of the story, but I've gotten to the point, though, that I need to know how this story unfolds, and so I will odds are end up reading it all night long. But I don't really care, and I probably won't be talking to you guys again tonight because, like I said, it's almost 11:30, and I want to take off my makeup and just lay in bed and listen to Taylor Swift while I read. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hey y'all, it is the next day. I did finish that book last night, but boy, do I wish I hadn't. I did not like that book at all. Probably 95% of the stuff I read in that book, I did not enjoy at all. I think I would honestly rate it like 1.5 to 2 stars. And that says a lot because it takes quite a bit for me to rate a book that poorly. Most of my books are 4 or 3-star reads, or anywhere in the spectrum between 3 and 5 stars. But I really didn't enjoy this book at all. The conflict made my skin crawl. The romance was not believable at all. I didn't enjoy it one bit, and I definitely don't think I'm going to continue the series, especially because the conflict turned one of my favorite characters that was in the book. It made them cruel, and I don't really care about their romance anymore. I wish I hadn't even picked it up in the first place. Literally, the thought of continuing that series makes my skin crawl right now. But I am actually just about to film my February TBR video, and then I have to edit that and upload it today because I procrastinate, and I only have like 100 pages-ish left because I read like till like 2 in the morning. I don't quite know what I'm going to read yet, but I'm gonna film this video and I will talk to you guys before I start reading again. Hey y'all, it is significantly later in the day than when I last spoke with you guys. It is just about 5 o'clock and I just finished getting my video uploaded and it goes live in like 30 minutes, but that was the most stressful time I've ever had editing a video. When I plugged in my SD card, it was unreadable, and then I had to download and pay for this software to be able to get all the footage off of it from both the video I filmed this morning and this entire vlog, and it was very stressful. I really thought that I was going to have to scrap this vlog, and I was so upset about it. But I got it all off, and I did end up deciding on what I want to start reading today. I really thought I was just going to read Undercover Bromance or Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and I probably will finish them before the month is up, but I really am in the mood for Lucy Score right now, so I'm going to start Rock Bottom Girl by Lucy Score. I could probably finish it sometime tomorrow morning, like 3 a.m. When I say tomorrow morning, that's what I mean. I really wanted to. I wasn't planning on reading too much today, just because I thought we had dinner plans tonight, but they got shifted to lunch plans tomorrow, so I have plenty of time to read tonight. And I didn't realize it till I was going through my SD card, but this is the last day of my 200 pages a day reading challenge, which is crazy because this week has like flown by. I think I read 8 books this week, and that's not even including anything I've read today. And I'm really proud of myself for that. Like, I full on pulled my ass out of this reading slump. I'm gonna get to reading this, and I will either be back when I have an update or if I reach 200 pages. It is just about 10 o'clock at night. I ended up taking a nap right after I talked to you guys, because I tried to start reading and I read the first chapter and I was so tired because I went to bed at like 3 in the morning and woke up at 8, and I'm not used to that, so I took a nap. And then I just got to the 160 page mark and I finished my 200 pages like 50 pages ago, but I wanted to keep reading. I'm really enjoying the book. I think, I don't know, I may be able to finish it tomorrow. It depends, because I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys stuck around this long, literally, thank you so much. You're such a real one. I sincerely hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. All my social media is linked down below for you guys. Make sure to turn on the post notification bell so you guys can get notified right when I post a new video. I hope you all are having an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.